crap.
Loveline.
That's why I wear a helmet.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. 92.1 KFMA. Green Valley, Tucson.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience.
Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's Loveline. 1-800-LOVE-191. With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Hey there, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. Yes, he is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 210-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Well, hold on a second, Drew. Let me take care of a little show business.
Yes.
Before we get into the aftermath of last night. Ben Folds 5 is due in here tonight. Actually, Ben Folds from Ben Folds 5 will be in here, and we'll be glad to see Ben. I remember Ben was in here maybe a year and a half ago, and soft-spoken guy, quiet guy, and
little contrast from last night.
And a guy whose ass we could probably kick in a pinch. I don't.
Yeah, that would feel good.
There he is now. That's perfect timing. Just when I was getting to the ass-kicking part, here he arrives. But last night, for those of you who heard last night's show, we had Pennywise in here, and we had Fletcher from Pennywise. Now, let me just describe everything and get everyone on the same page.
Because some of you are not going to hear the show. It was that out of control.
Pennywise is a hardcore band, a good band, has been around out in L.A. for many years and have toured the country for many years and was on Loveline about 5.5 years ago. Before I was on Loveline, but there was some residue from their last appearance here on Loveline, which is actually a beef burrito. Fletcher from Pennywise, who goes, now, I don't exaggerate. I'm not going to exaggerate.
Right.
I'm going to give you Fletcher's dimensions.
All right.
Fletcher goes 6'6".
Yeah.
And I'm 6'2". And when I stand next to a guy, it makes me feel like
small.
Really small. I hate that, by the way. I hate it. I mean, the guy's like 4.5 inches taller than me, and it bugs the hell out of me. And I realize there's a lot of guys out there who go through their life at 5'9" who got to be pissed off, because I was pissed off. If I was driving home last night thinking if everyone was Fletcher's size, I'd kill myself.
But not only is he 6'6".
He's 6'6".
Goes about
290.
Yeah, I was going to say
and
3.
He's slimmed down.
Yeah, that 3 bells.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. He's not a bloated 290.
No.
I mean, he's not a pumped up 290.
He's one of those thick 290. His hand.
Yeah.
If he put his hand on your back, he'd cover the entire back.
Yeah, he's not one of these guys. You know, there's these guys who normally is God made them. They go 215, but they eat a lot of creatine.
Yeah.
They suck up a lot of protein powder, and they spend their life in the gym, and they bulk themselves up to 270.
Yeah.
But that's a different kind of 270 because their wrists are skinny and their ankles are skinny, and they've sort of bulked themselves up.
Yes.
But they're almost like a thin frame that you've packed stuff onto.
Right.
He is not that way at all.
He's a man mountain.
Yeah, he is like a big dually pickup truck compared to a Japanese import from the late 70s pickup truck. Everything on him is big.
Yeah.
His fingers are big. His wrists is big. Everything is big.
Yeah.
And he possesses a certain kind of physical power that you only really get from that natural size. Not the pumped up, bloated size. Not the steroid size, but the God-given sort of Viking size. You know, when you travel around and you see those statues, and they look in proportion, and then you stand next to them and you realize that the wrist is as big around as your ankle is or your head is and stuff, and everything's just huge, but they don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're just big. That's what he looks like. And for some reason, even though there could be 8 guys that were 200 pounds, and he only had 90 pounds on all 8 of them, and their combined weight was 1,600 pounds, they still couldn't take him.
No way.
For some bizarre reason.
Well, plus he was extremely, extremely violent. The aggression that came out last night was unbelievable.
He had a little bit of that Viking thing going for him.
Something clicked off, alcohol plus something.
Oh, really? Well, I thought you'd seen that before.
What do you mean?
Well, when he vomited on you.
No, that was just sort of an out of control, sort of stuporous
thing. That was a surge.
Yeah, this was some sort of, this was a break. I mean, because he wasn't making sense, and you try to calm down, you'd go, I think can we get just a couple minutes of this to get a sense of what the energy was in the room? Please. Ann, come on. You had some stuff off the air, though, no?
Mike, do you have anything?
Yes, a little stuff for us.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Wait. We got to hear a little bit of this, because it really is quite a... If people have never seen this before, it's hard to understand what was happening.
I know, but Drew, what do you want me to do? Not talk until Mike goes and cues the thing up? Or you have something there, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Hey, I want you guys both to know something. Yeah. Private. Like, no one's taping this, right?
Right.
I think you guys are both rad. I think you're insane. And you're a motherfucker.
Okay.
Thanks for the trophy.
No, listen. Sidebar. Shut the fuck up. You can tell me. How do you rebuttal me?
I am saying, if you
what do you want to tell me?
And you respect us, then listen to us. You're causing us grief here.
I'm causing you fucking ratings, motherfucker. I came down here to get you fucking ratings.
True. Can't argue with that.
Motherfucker.
You may be right.
You know
Put it
what
back.
I'm doing? I got the fucking police down here. I'm willing to go to jail for your fucking ass and Dr. Drew's ass and your fucking MTV loving ass.
That's right. Oh, wait a minute. I don't like MTV. Mike, do you have to let the MTV part out on the air? That was...
I get an anxiety attack when I just think about
that was not theatrics for the on the air.
No, that was off there.
That was off the air.
Yeah.
So imagine what was going on the air.
And he barricaded the door, locked us in here.
That's right.
And threatened to kill us.
I began the tunneling process about 11:57.
What do you mean to the floor?
I started chewing my way like a rat through the side of the wall there and figured I could break free.
What?
I was using a spoon for digging in.
You and I could not communicate, because if we tried to talk to each other, he'd go nuts.
I passed Drew a note at one point.
So what were you thinking? We haven't talked about this yet. What were you thinking?
Oh, I figured at some point he would get tired of barricading us in here and let us out. I wasn't that fearful. Although, Drew, I wanted you to show him pictures of your kids. That was my strategy. I thought that was the best strategy in the world. Get out the picture of the kids. Get out the triplets, Drew. Surely that'll appeal to him on some level.
You said Drew's a dad about 400 times, and we had a response to that was every time was...
F that.
Yes. Well, you kind of got him going every time. That's why I didn't want to show any pictures.
All right. Well, the point is we were held hostage last night by a drunken Viking in here, and the cops were here. There was about 6 cops, but it was sort of weird. Short of firing through the door, there wasn't really a whole lot they were going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when he started saying he had a hand grenade that he was going to detonate, I thought there was a possibility somebody might do something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was worried about his sort of internal hand grenade, more like his lower intestine.
No,
I wasn't worried about the actual hand grenade. Actually, for some bizarre reason, I was not all that worried about the situation.
Strangely, I wasn't either until about 11:50. Then I started thinking, geez, there is just no telling what this guy will do. I mean, he could do anything, and he had full control of the situation.
He was a little volatile. I will give him that.
He was violent, so violent.
I had a little conversation with him in the parking lot. Didn't turn out the way I would have liked.
Oh, what happened?
He asked me if I had a tattoo.
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
Yeah.
And at that point, I really wanted a tattoo. You know how I make fun of people with tattoos?
Yes.
And you know how I don't have a tattoo?
Yeah.
I really wanted a tattoo. But when your guy's giving you that, we're brothers, man, you're cool, man, show me your tattoo. I was like, and no excuse sounds good, by the way, when you don't have a tattoo. Like I said, I don't have one on me, but I'm thinking about getting one, and I've been toying with some ideas, like a Pegasus or maybe a mermaid,
Figaro the cat.
Yeah, he wasn't really having much of that, so... It was a tension-filled evening, but
I was getting a little sketchy by the end because I realized, because I wasn't until I realized I was. Again, it was when sort of the police surrounded the place and stuff, and then I went home, I felt fine, slept well, and then I started having panic attacks in the morning when I started thinking,
I don't know why I'm sort of used to guys like that. Don't get me wrong, the guy is as big as a mountain. I only met the guy this evening, by the way. It's not like we're old buddies. Or last evening, and I probably should have assumed that he was going to try to take my head off at some point, but I didn't really seem to, I didn't have that fear, although it was a tense situation. I will certainly
Can I interject?
Give it that. Yes, producer.
I think Drew and I were even more on pins and needle only because we'd experienced him before, and we knew what he was capable of.
Right.
Because I've been working in psychiatric hospitals, I've only seen stuff like that in a locked unit. And I know what can happen. And if you don't have like a half dozen people to contain people that get like that, ain't no telling. When you talk about people...
Half dozen?
Yeah.
That's only 6.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it'd take a few more than that.
When people, you hear about these stories of people killing their family and then killing themselves, that's the state they're in when they do that. They are not in a rational way. They can do anything.
Right.
And when they're real jacked up on rage and jack,
well,
yeah,
my whole Drew, what was my policy last night, though?
There was a little humor, and right about the time, in fact, that little off-air exchange happened when he goes, "You want to get out of here?" And he said something like, "You're not going," and Adam goes, "All right, that's fine, but when it's 12, I'm leaving." So,
yeah, I told him, "Listen, it's 11:45 now. I'm not going anywhere until midnight anyway. I never do. As a matter of fact, you can come back tomorrow night and stand in front of the door until midnight. But at midnight, I'm leaving. I'm off the clock at that point, and Lycus has to come in here in about 18 hours and do a show." Anyway, we'll possibly...
it was pretty awful. I can empathize with people that are in hostage situations.
Listen, I feel sorry for Engineer Mike last night, who just about wore out his index finger pressing that dump button after all the profanity. And then he started threatening Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Mike. All right, so maybe we'll play another excerpt from that at some point. But tonight, let's get to tonight's hostage, which is Ben Folds. He is here, isn't he? All right. Well, let's bring Ben in. Yeah. And Ben, by the way, is quite a sharp contrast to Fletcher and Pennywise. The thing that's funny about Pennywise is the other 3 guys in the band are guys you want to go camping with. Couldn't be friendlier.
Yeah.
And although they may be enablers, it sort of scared me when they didn't have a clue as to what to do with them. At a certain point, I looked at them and I said, "Well, you guys must go through this every weekend of your lives for the last 10 years. What do you do?" And they all looked at me and went, "I don't know. This guy's freaked out." And to me, it was like being out on someone's tuna boat and it starts taking in water and you say to the captain, "What are we going to do? Turn on the bilge pump or something?" And he goes, "I don't know. We're aft." Oh, okay. Ann is doing some right here. Ben, put your headphones on, please, or cans, as we call them in the business.
Can I do it without the cans?
Well, when the calls started coming...
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Robert will need some cans. We need stereo cans, man. We need
that's when it gets tough. Do you have another set of cans in there? You have one for Robert?
And
all right.
Can you pan the vote? Can you pan the caller's left and the answer's right?
That's a good, I don't know enough about the stereophonic process. Oh, yes. Thank you, Engineer Mike. My head will explode now. All right, Ben Folds is here, and Robert is here as well from Ben Folds 5, and we just couldn't be happier. Mike, are you still doing that with the left and the right? Would you please stop it? I swear to God, I'll fall off this chair if you do it for another 5 minutes. We couldn't be happier to have you tonight after last night's fiasco with Pennywise. And I told Fletcher if he was still here when Ben got here, there'd be some ass whooping going on. But,
Fletcher? Who's Fletcher?
He is actually, I'll tell you,
the lead singer?
Pennywise is a guitar player. Pennywise is a 4-member group, but they're really like a 6 or 8 member band. There's 3 regular sized guys, and then there's Fletcher, who's really like 3 or 4 guys. He's like a roadie and 3 drummers. And he kind of barricaded. I don't want to give you guys any ideas because I don't want to repeat what went on last night. But please don't lock us in our studio tonight.
It's a bunch of crap.
Let me tell you, my good man. Let me tell you all about sex. Sir, let me tell you one thing about Pennywise. 4 chords, 4 guys.
And 100 T-shirts.
100 T-shirts, 10 songs.
All right. Don't piss them off. That's all.
1 gig.
That's all I'm saying. All right. Last time, is your mic on there, Robert,
it will be.
by the way?
Mike's sitting down doing it.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
It will be on now. When were you on last? I guess that's my first question. Do you remember?
That would have been February of 98.
Really?
Wow.
Or February of 99, one of those 2 years.
It must have been 98.
I'll buy that.
98.
It was February, though.
I'll go 98.
You weren't here.
I wasn't here.
You weren't.
Oh, you weren't here, Drew?
Yeah, but
you missed out.
True. Nice jacket.
Thank you.
Reinhold Messner, if I pronounced that correctly, is the name of the new CD, which I read on the inside of the jacket is based on a fake ID that who had?
Darren had that. And did you get the sexual subtext of that?
No.
We'll get to that later.
Let's see. No, I'm still not reading anything into that. But I had a few beers. I was at a party before I came here tonight. And I'm sure as I sober up toward the 11 o'clock hour, something will sink in. I'll tell you what, why don't we hear a song off of that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to the guys and answer some calls and do all that. Mike's it queued up? All right, this one's called Army. That'd be the Army from Ben Folds 5 off of Reinhold Messner, which is the latest CD. Ben Folds and Robert Sledge are both here from the band, and you can find them at the Palladium Thursday night out here in Los Angeles, Vegas Friday night, San Diego Saturday, and then Sunday, San Francisco. You know where you're playing in San Francisco?
Warfield. The Warfield.
Warfield.
There's, I just love San Francisco. Maybe it's because I only go like half as much as I want to go or something, but I think that's like one of the greatest cities in this country.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah, the weather's always cool, and it's always like, always smells like fish, and I like that. All right, Ben Folds 5 is our guest tonight. We'll take ourselves some calls because it's almost time for the break. We haven't got to one yet. Jeff?
Yes.
You're 19.
Yes.
What's going on?
Basically, I met this girl, and I've been talking to her for a little while, probably around. I've been talking to her for about 3 weeks, and I go over to her house one night, and I'm like laying on her bed or whatever, and I look over to my right, and there's a condom wrapper on the ground, and it's not mine. It's like empty. It's like open, and I asked her, I was like kind of in shock because, you know, I was like thinking, what's the deal? So I asked her, I'm like, you know, what is this? And she just says, oh, it's no big deal. Me and my friends were just like playing around.
Water balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. And well, that's what you chalk that question up to. What else is she going to say?
Yeah, I was carrying an M16 through a rice paddy, and I didn't want to get my ammunition wet, so I...
And I mean, it's like she's like 20 years old. I mean, I can hear about that when you're like 15, 16, maybe even like, you know?
Yeah.
But how many people nowadays do that kind of stuff? Or
I can hear about that when you're 20 years old, too.
Well, here, I mean, it's a possibility. It's just not a good one.
Yeah.
What kind of conditions were the sheets in? Did they crack like thin ice when you jumped on them, or?
And man, and like all my friends are like harassing me. They're like, "Hey, man, you can't buy that story," you know, because she just broke up. I mean, she was like in a year-long relationship with her
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when did that break up?
Around 3 months ago, but they've been kind of off and on or whatever.
Well, they're on.
And so I don't know whether to question.
They have a service arrangement.
Right.
You know, I don't know whether to ask her again, say, hey, you know, because I mean, I like the girl and stuff, but I.
All right, here's the deal. She is having sex with somebody else. Just accept that.
The good news is they're using
She's using a condom. Yeah.
I mean,
that's just the way it is. And she's not going to tell you you know, she's not going to.
Yeah, but what do you guys think of this? I mean, I have this theory that when people leave stuff lying around and then invite folks over where they're clearly going to find it, I don't mean it's mapped out, but subconsciously they sort of want you to know they're trying to send you a message in their own way.
A little territorial marking.
I mean, put it this way. When you really don't want someone to know something, are you so brazen that you leave a condom wrapper lying around, or don't you sort of cover your tracks just a little bit better? I mean, maybe she's sending a message to Jeff, and she's saying, listen, don't get too caught up.
Right.
I mean, I like you, okay, but you're moving a little too fast. I'm going to bring you down to earth.
Yeah.
All right. So just slow down a little bit. I think that's the message. Okay. John.
Yeah.
You're 23.
Right.
What's going on?
Well, to put it in a nutshell, I don't know how to tell my old lady that, you know, there's other people.
In the world?
No, in my world.
Oh, in your world.
Right.
His mother, or?
I'm guessing it expands well beyond the immediate family.
Were your girlfriends on that?
Well, multiples.
Wait, I'm already confused.
Do you have a wife?
The old lady?
Who's the old lady?
My old lady is my wife.
Okay, and you have a girlfriend? Couple of
them, yeah.
Why are you married?
Well, when we got married, everything was going all right, you know, and everything was on track.
You mean just that day?
Huh?
Why did you get married?
Well, because I love her.
Why did you get married?
Oh, he loves her. Leave him alone.
If you love her, then why do you treat her this way? So why did you get married?
Well, it's like before we got married, well, to put it blunt, we're like rabbits.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she just got cold.
Right.
So, you know, I got to find somewhere, right?
No. You're married.
Yeah, you have to suffer like Drew.
No, you have to work it out.
I mean, work it out like Drew.
Well, you know,
suffer.
Oh, that's right.
I'm, you know, in the heating and air, and, you know, I go to these people's house.
The HVAC. There's nothing that turns a woman on like a tin knocker when he comes into the
why are you? I'll go back to my original question. Why are you married?
I'm in heating and air, so I have to bang a lot of my clients.
You can't. What if she'd gotten a chronic illness and couldn't have sex with you?
Well, it's not that way, though.
Well, but what if that were the reason that
oral sex, too?
What if she was sick and couldn't have sex with you? Then would you go out and just do whatever?
That would be different.
Why?
Because then there'd be a reason.
You see, you gotta understand John's point here. Not that I'm a big fan of John, but what John is saying is if she had crotch atrophy or TMJ or something and couldn't perform sexually, that wouldn't be her fault. But if she chose not to have sex with him, then she's asking for it.
My point is there's a reason here, too. He just doesn't see it.
Yeah, John, you don't make women blossom like flowers, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, they more contract when they're in front of you, don't they? I mean, it's more of a closing. Like a garage door going down more than one opening, bursting open, right?
No, you know, it's like these other women, they have no problems.
All right.
But then I come home and it's like stepping into a freezer.
Yeah. Let me explain John's rap. Listen, darling, I installed the system. It's 1,500 BTU. The HEPA filter usually runs $900. I can toss that in for free, but you got to work with me.
Oh, John.
That's right.
Marsha.
All right. Listen.
Look, you should not be married.
Get divorced. That's all. John, get divorced. You're not, you're 23. You're in the fast-paced, lucrative world of heating and air. You want to, that's a pretty international lifestyle. I'm sure you're on the Concorde 3-4 days out of the week. But go ahead and live that dream.
That's an awful thing to treat his wife that way.
Get divorced.
It's awful.
Yeah, you're not into your wife. You made a mistake. She made a bigger mistake. You break up. That's all. Do you have kids?
No.
All right. Fine. Settled.
I mean,
if you can't deal with the fluctuations that occur as a result of normal life stressors or whatever is bothering her, whether it's the relationship or her own affect or whatever, that's not a marriage.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, heating and air is really, it's like being in a rock and roll band. It really is. You can't expect a guy at 23 to turn down all the trim, all the quality trim that's coming his way. And when I see him pulling up that truck, I mean, when he dons the tin snips and then gets out the pot rivet gun, and as soon as that ducting tape comes out, I mean, it's all over. You know what I mean? No mortal woman can say no to a guy who's crawling through her attic and using insulation tape. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Drew? Have you seen those guys work?
It's art.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It really is. You can't.
I've seen it happen 1,000 times.
Yeah, it's the oldest story in the world. It'd be in the Bible if they had heating and air. It really would. I'm sure it'll be in the updated version of the Bible. I really do. All right, Ben Folds and Robert Sledge are both here from Ben Folds 5. We'll take a little break, and when we come back, we'll talk to more troubled folks.
Okay, so come on down off the towers.
This is not your parents' service. The weekend of July 23rd, Rome, New York, Woodstock 99.
3 days, man.
The 30th anniversary of the...
Hey, the Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Ben Folds 5 is here. At least Robert Sledge and Ben Fold are here from the Ben Folds 5. And that's still 2/3 of the 5 anyway. You can do the math. Drew is going to be on Politically Incorrect tonight.
Right.
With William Shatner. And who else?
Don, the guy that wrote Basketball Diaries. Is that what it's called?
Jim Carroll.
Jim Carroll, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting fellow.
Wow,
He's
yeah.
just going to be strung out.
He had a few songs.
He's all right.
Lots of people have died.
And what's going on there, Mike? You screwing around? Oh, Star Trek. Don't mess around, would you? And who else? Else?
Sort of a conservative political person.
Yeah, they always have some political person on that show. And Ben Folds tonight, the Ben Folds 5 you can find on the Leno show. How'd that go?
It went great.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we did it.
I was thinking while I was urinating about Ben Folds, and I was thinking, maybe not the biggest band in the country, and I don't mean that to say you're the smallest. I just mean not the biggest band in the country, but one of the coolest bands. And
thank you.
And that to me, I'd rather be a part of that. I'll tell you the truth. I don't play an instrument, but if I did, I'd join the band.
Oh, thanks.
Actually, he wouldn't let me join the band, but I just sort of follow you around from country to country and charge the stage. But great music, great guys, and a sort of cool factor that some bands don't have. And I wonder if that got in the way at the beginning. I mean, being sort of unorthodox that way.
Yeah. I think it gets in the way the whole time. Like, it's always going to be in the way. But it's also, if you're unorthodox, it's also the reason that you're where you are.
But at a certain point, don't you sort of turn the corner? I mean, like a fashion that no one has bought into yet, and then eventually people sort of buy into it. And that's a horrible analogy, but or a degrading analogy. But what I mean is when when you're getting started and people are trying to book Nirvana, and Ben Folds 5 wants to come in and play the club, it's like, hey, this ain't going to work, fellas.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of cool, isn't it? I mean, it's not a hindrance now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does get easier. Yeah, but then you come up with something else to sabotage yourself with,
Fantastic. For Drew, it's heroin, but you guys, it may just be a musical direction. I don't know.
Yeah, we're into the big stuff.
Dan?
Yes.
You're 25?
Yes.
You have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, Dan. I don't like Dan's condescending tone already. I really don't. So I'll put him on hold for another half hour or so. Daniel? Or Danielle?
Yeah.
You're 21.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew. Oh, I'm so nervous. Well, my question is that I'm 21 years old, and I'm a virgin, and I've been going out with this guy for about 4 months, and he wants to have sex. He's really gung-ho about that, and I really care about him, but for some reason, I can't do it, and I don't really know if the problem's me or...
Because you're not ready? It wasn't what you planned on? It was something you want to go out to get married, or is it just the relationship?
Well, I never really thought about it that much until I started going out with this guy, and then I really realized that, I have a really big problem with people touching me.
All right, I'm going to give you 3 options, but I think I know which one is. All right, you ready? You can only pick 3 of these.
Okay.
Religious fanatic. I'm going to cross that off the list.
You only get to pick one.
Grossly overweight, or at least were. May have slimmed down now, but I'm still going to cross that one off. Touched in a way you didn't want to be touched by someone you didn't want to touch you at some point when you didn't have a choice. That's the one I'm going with.
7 to 9, in that range.
Well...
Which one? It can only be 3.
One of 3.
Like 3 would be close.
Yeah.
Who touched you?
The other 2 are definitely not right.
No, that's why I'm going with 3.
Who touched you?
Well, it wasn't like a family member or anything.
Who was it?
When I was in high school, I was...
No, we're going before high school.
Nothing happened before high school.
Who touched you in high school then?
Well, these guys just, did horrible things, did bad things. They invaded my space in high school, and it made me really uncomfortable later on.
Did they rape you?
No, they didn't. It was just they would touch me a lot, and they would scare me a lot and things like that.
Did you tell the authorities?
No, I didn't.
What made them think they could get away with that?
I don't know.
Okay, we got to go then. We got to go before high school then, Danielle.
Nothing happened before high school. Honestly.
Yeah. Where's your dad?
Well, my dad divorced my mom when I was 2.
Yeah. Stepdads?
No.
Huh?
Boyfriends?
Curious brothers?
No, I only had one brother, and he was really cool.
Uh-huh.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah. Where's your dad?
My dad is still around. We don't really talk much. I'm never really comfortable with him.
Why not?
I don't know why. I've just never been really comfortable with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not real. I was always really close to my mom.
Why'd your mom divorce him, do you know?
She didn't really talk to me about it. My mom died when I was 17.
She died?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
What happened to her?
She had cancer.
Oh, boy.
So a lot of loss in your life. At the very least, it would be very difficult or potentially painful for you to be in a close relationship.
What went on with the guys touching you, though, or invading your space? I don't quite get that.
Because when I was like a freshman in high school, they would just touch me and grab me and rip things, like they would rip my shirt and things like that. And
As you're walking down the hall?
Walking in the hall, in classes.
And this happened consistently?
For about 3 years.
Are you busty?
Kind of. Not really. I'm just a C cup.
Hey, listen, don't put yourself down. C cup's nice. There's something going on. I mean, I know your dad sort of abandoned you or split, and your mom passed away tragically, and there's still
I really miss my dad, though.
I wonder, I have a theory, and it may be a little far-fetched, that Dad may have done something to get himself kicked out of
Yeah, I suspect so.
The house.
But look, the point is staying in the present for Danielle, because we're not getting anywhere with the past, is that she has to find a way to decrease her anxiety about getting close to somebody and take some risk and be open. And if she feels appropriate getting physically intimate with somebody, do so. Realize that if she's attracted to a guy, it may well be that it's somebody who is going to be kind of abandoning or sort of unavailable in some fashion, because that's the sense of who she is in a relationship.
Guys don't have, it's funny, women get into that, I don't like it when guys touch me. Guys are like, hey, I'll pay a chick $50. I don't care. Hey, you, over there. Put that down. Come here. Want to make $50? I mean, hey, we don't care who touches us. Guys don't want people touching their car. That's sort of the equivalent to, I think, women in their bodies. Guys will a guy put his dick through a hole in the piece of plywood and let a dog lick it on the other side. I mean, it wouldn't even care who grabbed the other side of it. It really wouldn't. But doesn't want the valet to mess with the car. I think I've figured out the analogy. The car is what the body is for women, to men. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're smart. We prioritize. All right, let's talk to someone else. Chuck?
Yep.
You're 25.
Yeah.
What's going on?
My girlfriend and I live together, and next month, she has 2 boys. They're 6 and 8, and next month they're coming to stay with us for the whole month. And she thinks that during that month that she and I should not sleep in the same bed, that we should sleep in different beds, and I disagree with her.
Yeah. Oh, well, the kids are 6 and, I mean, Mommy was pregnant at 15, right?
Yeah.
Who's she fooling?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, why aren't the kids living with Mommy anyway?
They live with their dad. When her and the dad split up, she was in a pretty bad spot, as you can imagine, so they ended up with him, basically.
We never trust that. Yeah. What do you mean bad spot?
Oh, she was, well, I mean, it's not like, she could keep a therapist busy for quite a while. Her dad was really, abusive and stuff.
So she wasn't an adequate parent.
No, not at all. Not at all.
She was.
She was not.
Well, but her kids.
At that time.
She was not a good parent at that time.
Right.
Okay, but now she's better.
Yeah, gotten a lot better.
Has she gotten into Jesus or anything?
No, not really. Nothing crazy or anything like that.
All right, well that's good. All right, so for a whole month, what do you do? Sleep on the sofa?
Just in separate places, wherever. You know what I mean?
I would be. Do you ever go to her? She has a therapist now?
No, she did. She went to one for a while, and then she moved, so she didn't go. She hasn't started going back to one, but she definitely has plans to go again.
Yeah, somebody that has a delicate sort of makeup like this, you might want to, acquiesce to her a little bit. Who knows what her issues are, but it could really start to sort of boil up if you don't comply with some of this stuff, I suspect.
Well, listen,
get her back in the treatment.
It's not like you can't have sex, you just don't get to sleep with her.
Yeah.
Right.
That, to me, is not bad.
Right.
I mean, you turn on Tonight Show, you fall asleep in front of the TV. She's up sawing logs and rolling around up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're down in your own little den, breaking wind and doing God knows what to yourself with the VCR going. And I don't know. That sounds like a little bit of a blessing.
Right.
I wish my girlfriend would kick me out of the bedroom once in a while.
It is probably symbolically a little easier on the kids if you're just a friend.
Right.
As far as they're concerned, until you do decide you're going to commit yourself to this family and be a stepfather to these boys, they need to not get that connected to you and see you in a bed with mom. I can understand that might be an issue.
Let me tell you the bad news and why this is going to backfire. No, they won't see you sleeping with mom. Yes, they'll catch you whacking off 14 times.
Right.
in the living room.
Right.
Before in the 1 month that they're there.
Right.
So there's going to be scarring any way you look at it.
Right.
And damage to the furniture.
Right.
All right, Chuck. She's been through a lot. You sound like a decent enough guy.
Okay.
Just give her this, but don't let her get too nutty with the demands.
Right.
All right. You're a good guy. Yeah, Chuck sounded relatively sane for one of our callers.
Understanding. Chuck was all right. Understanding.
Yeah, I like that.
Compliant.
You got to strike a balance between sort of being understanding yet not being an enabler.
Right.
You can't let people just spin out into their own orbit. On the other hand, it's nice to be flexible once in a while.
Balance.
Right. That's me, right, Drew?
Flexible.
Thank you very much. See, I trained Drew just to repeat the last word that I've said.
If I say any more than that, he'll spin out in his own universe. You are my teacher.
Listen, just go get me my cocaine stash.
Somebody has an id and someone has an ego.
We are here with Ben Folds 5. We will hear something off that record in the next hour. We'll take a little break and find him on the Tonight Show tonight, the Leno Show. And when we come back, we're going to speak to who, Drew?
When I decide, I'll tell you.
All right, that's good radio.
You are my teacher.
Loveline. Be right.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla is here. Yeah, he's back in here.
Ben Folds sitting in for Adam.
Ben Folds is here, and Drew is going to take over.
Oh, and we know that's trouble.
But must you practice that addiction every night? Really?
Heroin?
No, the nicotine one.
You hate yourself.
Went out and had a cigarette.
You really are.
You start hating yourself.
I got to tell you really smoke a lot. Your denial is massive about
Are you kidding me? I smoked as a second cigarette I smoked today.
By the way, one of the managers here came up to me and said, "Thank you for putting that computer screen monitor under the desk when Fletch was threatening to throw poo and vomit."
Oh, yeah. That was diabolical, Drew. All except for the part about me not knowing what calls were coming on next.
Lower down the board here, Brian.
I can't read your chicken scratchings, your doctoral prescription scratching there. All right, Ben Folds 5 is here tonight. Reinhold Messner is the name of the latest CD, and it's got to be good because it's from Ben Folds 5. That's all you need to know. They're on the Tonight Show tonight, and I'm guessing, Tonight Show starts at 11:30, ends at 12:30. You guys, the musical band's guests go on probably about the last thing. So you can listen to 20. You can listen to the show tonight, and then you can meander over the TV set and catch Ben Folds live. Also, they're going to be at the Palladium here in Hollywood on Thursday. They'll be in Vegas on Friday, Saturday. They'll be in San Diego. Sunday, San Francisco, and then I got some other dates I'll give to you before the night is through, because they're going to be all over the country. Drew, ready to go?
Ready.
We're
going to try Dan again.
Oh, yeah. Dan we spoke to about a half hour ago, but I didn't like his attitude. We're going to give him a second try. Dan?
Yes.
You're 25.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Good.
That's good. I got a childhood thing that's still haunting me, and I hope that you could help me.
What's it?
All right.
My brother had sexually touched me when I was younger.
How old were you?
7.
How old was your brother at the time?
10.
What was his deal? Was he experimenting? Was it explicitly sexual?
I didn't really know. He was just playing with me, and I didn't know what was going on.
All right.
What's the question?
How many times did it happen?
He did it to me, about 4 or 5 times when I was a little kid.
For lengthy periods of time?
Somewhat.
This was touching?
Yes.
His hand. Okay. What's the question?
Well, would that have made me gay?
No.
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 Could have helped, but
I was going to say, it might have...
I think it made you gay.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Are you gay?
I don't know.
Let's put it this way. If you have sexual identity issues, coming from a family where that kind of play is going on between the kids suggests there might have already been something pretty unusual going on with the parents, or some sort of chaos in the family system that was being acted out in strange ways by the kids.
Yes, my father was very pornographic.
All right. That's abusive to kids. That can be damaging to kids.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish my dad would abuse me a little with some porn.
When you were 12 or 14.
Jesus Christ.
At 6 or 7.
I didn't have a Playboy in the whole house.
6 or 7, it can be disruptive. It can be disturbing. And
still, I think I could have made it.
What else did he do?
He would just torment me when I was a kid.
In what way?
Your brother or your dad?
Both. My dad would yell at me for no reason.
Yeah, so dad was abusive. Dad was inappropriate sexually. Certainly that, more than anything, can contribute to all sorts of confusion about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that may have issues pertaining to your sexual identity. It wouldn't be surprising.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your sexual identity is kind of precarious when you're a kid, you know, and it's like a caramel apple that hasn't dried yet. You drop it and it rolls around, a lot of stuff sticks to it, and you never know. And then once that stuff sticks to it, it's stuck. It's there. I mean, you drop that caramel apple.
Caramel apple? People at that Politically Incorrect Night were actually teasing me about you and your analogies.
Oh, please.
And I thought, man, you guys do know Adam here.
They're jealous, those people.
Caramel apple is equivalent to sexual identity.
Well,
go on.
What I'm saying is...
Poetic.
Okay, the caramel apple dries at a certain point, and then you can drop it and just sort of blow it off and eat it, you know, when you're 21. But when you're 7 and you drop it, it gets all sorts of cat hair stuck to it and whatnot, and you never know. And once that stuff gets embedded, it's in.
That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, your apple can get kicked around when you're 19, but it can't get kicked around at 7. And maybe between Dad doing a lot of yelling and being a little bit of a rager, and the brother taking out some of that frustration on you sexually, it could have put a dent in it.
There's a poem called Caramel Apple.
There is?
Yeah, by Walt Whitman.
That son of a bitch. I swear to God, I'll sue his ass. What band is he in?
Pennywise.
Oh, I knew it. These guys are stealing my thunder. Really? How does it go? Does it talk about the cat hair being stuck to it?
Yeah, it's oh caramel apple, before you are dry. Something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, please.
Equating it to brain development. Yes, indeed. Yes.
All right, I want to know the stick factors in. But, Dan?
What?
All right, do you like guys?
I like both.
You don't know what's going on. You're all over the place.
You know, you sound more than confused. You sound depressed.
I am.
Yeah. And again, this is about the structure of your internal emotional world, and you're sort of cast into the realm of disorders of self, and that can be treated. You should take advantage of it. Dan. There's no reason to suffer with this. We got to go to break.
All right, but so don't declare a sexuality at this point.
The point is that one of your symptoms is your confusion about your sexual identity, but it's not the issue. There's a lot else going on there, and that can be dealt with.
Okay, Drew. Why don't you tease the next call? Could you
all right, we'll talk
please?
to Laura. Well, gosh darn it. That's not a good one.
Drew, don't swear.
Here is Stephanie, who all her sex partners get.
Hold on. Someone has a question about breast reduction. Now, wait a minute now. Cynthia?
Yeah.
You're 18?
Uh-huh.
How big are you?
36 triple D.
Oh, triple D.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you get anything worked out at the Playboy Mansion today? Did you get any? I figure out bra sizes or anything?
I toured the grotto and was.
You've done that before. I did that with you once.
I know, but what? I'm not going back. You're in France. You go to the Louvre, right?
I guess.
You're at the Playboy Mansion. You hit the grotto. Yeah, I was just at the Playboy Mansion, fellas.
Wow. Funny we didn't see you there.
I saw a corpse floating in the grotto pool. Oh, that is just awesome. I thought I recognized Ben's ass. All right. Hey, Cynthia?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll talk about your chest. How big's the rest of you?
135 pounds.
Perfect. How tall?
5'7".
5'7". 18 years old?
Uh-huh.
All right, don't change. Just hold on a second. We'll take a break, and we'll get back to Cynthia and her humongous juicy breasts after this.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute.
Nate, the Loveline. We're going to take a quick 10-second timeout, and we'll be back with more of the fabulous show in just 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on
Radio
Station. Saludos, amigos. This is a new rock alternative. 90.1 KFMA. Green Valley.
They do? All right. Drew's looking up Grotto. There's some very heady conversation going on during the commercials here. Robert Sledge and, Drew's looking for his dictionary. Robert Sledge and Ben Folds are both here from Ben Folds 5. They got themselves another album out. It's called Reinhold Messner, and you can find that in stores. You can also find them on the Tonight Show tonight. And, oh, man, they're going to be in Chicago on the 18th, and Pittsburgh on the 19th, and D.C. on the 20th and 22nd. They'll be in Worcester. Sorry there, Drew. I know that's... did you go to college there?
Nearby. It's Worcester. There's Worcester nearby, and then Worcester, which is W-O-R-C-E-S.
That really sounds like a horrible idea.
But Worcestershire sauce, spelled that way.
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah.
Providence. I was saying to my partner today that I was willing to forgive the Japanese for Pearl Harbor just because of teriyaki. I deem that to be one of the greatest fluids.
Payback.
One of the greatest fluids ever made, and all's forgiven. I know there's a lot of Americans lost and a certain degree of damage, but damn it, they've made up for it in spades with that teriyaki sauce. Central Park, Central Park, yeah, New York. They'll be, that's the end of the tour there?
That's the end.
On the 24th, and they're going to be everywhere. Drew, you looking up Grotto? I was at the Playboy Mansion tonight.
Grossed out cave, an artificial recess or structure made to resemble a natural cave.
That James Caan can get a full release in?
Artificial?
Oh, really? So if it's a hole in the side of a mountain, it's a cave, but if you dig it, it's a grotto.
I guess so, yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, those of you, and I'm guessing at least 50% of the listening audience has not been to the Playboy Mansion. They have this place called the Grotto, which should really just be called it should just be called the Sex Tub. You walk into this sort of man-made cave that's attached to a pool, and there's these pools, these like jacuzzis, but they're pools of hot water, and there's like refillable gallon-sized baby oil jugs everywhere, and just furniture spread out, and I mean, places you could lounge. I mean, God knows what kind of debauchery was going on in there in the 70s. Or hell, God knows what Charlie Sheen has done in there. Oh my God! You walk in there and it's like, when they talk about walking into like a famous stadium or something like that, how you can still hear Vince Lombardi's voice echoing in the halls or something. That's what it is. I mean, God knows what went on in there and what does go on in there, but I don't think I'll ever find out. Cynthia, you're 18.
Yep.
That's right. You have the 34 Triple D. Right?
36.
Oh, sorry, 36 Triple D. And when I was talking to someone about this, I always thought it was the Double D. But you can go to a Triple D.
Yep.
And then when do you go to E?
I'm not sure.
All right. And you're 135 pounds, and you're 5'7", and you're 18 years old.
And you're asking questions about breast reduction, right?
Yeah, like what's the scarage and like...
Well, the scar is sort of the inverted T. It's a big scar. And some people are unhappy with that. Other people are so relieved to have all that weight removed. And their back feels better, their neck feels better. They don't get the deep bra strap grooves any longer. That it's no big deal to have a scar.
Also, my mom, after she had children, her breast shrunk.
Yep.
So would my breast shrink, possibly?
Sometimes. There's called involutional changes of pregnancy. And, yeah, absolutely it could.
Can it get bigger, though?
It could.
All right, but your chances are, if your mom shrunk, maybe yours would too.
Maybe. But don't rush. You're only 18. What's happening to you that you have a sort of a need for this now?
Oh, it just bothers me.
What?
I've had some back problems.
Yeah. What else?
Clothing.
What else?
Social issues, I guess.
Do people look at you the wrong way?
What are the social issues?
Well, I know guys have trouble getting close to me, I guess.
Why?
Because there's 3 foot of breast in between them and you, or?
I guess.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean guys have trouble getting close to you?
Or, I don't know.
Or they see... What? They don't what?
It's hard to express it. I don't know the words.
Well, is it just that they seem to be interested in things other than being close to you?
Basically.
Yeah.
They're interested in your breasts, right?
Yeah.
Well, good. There you go. I mean, listen, I know everyone hates this logic, but I'm telling you, it's serious logic. People are attracted to people for many different reasons. You have two good ones right in front of you. Why is that so childish? You know what I mean? Why is that such a turnoff? I mean, Cindy Crawford has many men that are attracted to her because she has a nice smile and a nice set of legs holding up that smile. Why are we more immature because of the breasts? Why does everyone do that? I mean, what about the ass? What about the legs? What about the eyes? I mean, aren't those just physical features that men are attracted to?
Well, when she looks in the mirror at night, she can't, like, sort of be friends with herself. She has to be friends with, you know.
The breasts are less a part of the person, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, like, say she plays guitar, so
to the
she
extent
sits
that
around with her classical guitar and has a great time, right?
Humans are very oriented around each other's eyes. They really learn in their faces. They really learn to read emotions and a lot about the people based on face. So to say somebody's attracted to somebody, how they look and how they look at one another, is saying something about the person, and the body part tends to be a little bit detached from them.
All right, but what about legs? What about ass?
I understand that people can be attracted for various reasons, but it can be only the initial attraction. If it's a preoccupation, then it again takes away from the relationship between the people.
All right, but at 18 years old, if you're going out with guys that are 18, 19, 20, whatever, they're initially going to be drawn into the physicality. That's how 19-year-old guys work. And then once they're drawn in by the physicality, then it's up to you. I mean, maybe they like your personality, maybe they don't, maybe you got a great sense of humor, maybe they have a great sense of humor, whatever it is. There's the initial physicality that draws them in. And whether it's looking great in a mini skirt or looking great in a tube top or having huge blue eyes or long flowing blonde hair, there's a physicality. So this is just another physicality that might draw certain guys in.
And Cynthia, you've got to learn to manage how guys are, really. That's part of the problem here. I'm sure it's very frustrating and very sort of disrespectful to you in some ways, or it doesn't feel good.
I don't know.
But you can manage that. I mean,
I understand it, but to me, why is it so different than a set of great legs?
We got your point. I got it.
Yeah, but I mean, if she's worried that people don't like her for the right reasons, then she respects herself for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? And she wishes people should respect her for the right reasons. So, you know, she obviously sees something. You obviously see something in yourself that's bigger than that. So,
right.
So that's pretty cool.
All right, so
hang on to that, right?
Cynthia, why don't you just give it a little more time, see what the direction the breasts go, and then you can start talking to some sort of plastic surgeons or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Listen, I'm a breast man, and I'm just tired of being ridiculed for it. I really am.
I'm not ridiculing you, but all your sensibilities are violated when a woman who is endowed might not want to stay that way.
Well, listen, if you're an 18-year-old woman and you're 350 pounds, guys aren't going to come up and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, if you got a beautiful set of legs and long blonde hair, people are going to talk to you. Or maybe you're not so great looking, but you got a big rack on you, and the guy's into that. Well, so be it. And the woman is talking to a guy because he's good looking, or because he's in a rock band, or because he drives a Corvette. You know, whatever it is, there's always some reason somebody's talking to somebody. And I say, who cares what the reason is they're talking to you? Go down the road a year, see how the relationship's doing. I mean, we're all drawn in for some reason. Drew, I know you went to med school so you could get tail. I mean, you said that to me hundreds and hundreds of times.
I hope I made that very clear and emphasized that to you.
But is it immature of a woman to go to be attracted to you because you're a doctor? Or because you're going to med school? You know, a lot of women are when they're 22 years old.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
No.
So we should all just sort of blindfold ourselves and spin ourselves around and stumble into somebody.
No, because that's not realistic either. But yeah. I remember. Well, I'll tell you a personal story. I can remember being offended and pissed off when I went from being a high school guy, college guy that nobody was interested in, to a medical student. It was a big deal. I was pissed.
Really?
Because, like, hey, where were you guys 3 years ago when I was depressed and didn't want to talk to me? I was totally offended by that, frankly.
Really?
Yeah, I was totally offended by it.
Well, how did you feel? I mean, what do you mean offended?
I mean, it really bothered me. I didn't trust anybody that was, I didn't trust anybody.
Well, what about you guys? I'm
a brain surgeon. And the thing is that when I mean, I knew deep down inside that I always wanted to be a brain surgeon, and nobody appreciated me for that. But once I did become a musician, yeah, I mean, yeah, some floozy comes up and has no idea at all who you are and your personality and, you know, what your motivation is, you know. I mean, it's your motivation more than it is your practice. I mean,
yeah, but I think if you choose to be a musician or a doctor or whatever, you're somewhat proud of that, and it's an extension of who you are. But if you just grow a big set of boobs, that's not your, that's not really your choice in a way. So I can kind of see there's a little difference there.
Okay, but I'm saying everyone's into
you're saying there's
Ricky
a reason.
Martin, and it's because
he's a suave guy.
Because he's good looking, you know, and. Yeah, I mean, he does a little singing, too, but I'm sure he got a little poontang before the record came out, and it's because he's a good-looking guy. Now, are women wrong for liking that? Or what if he just had a big, it's if he had a huge penis and he was ugly?
Well, he's going to get divorced 25 times before he decides to marry the person that, like, you know,
I'll tell you,
likes the real Richard.
I'm going to be one of those. Listen, all you women listening out there, I don't care what you like me for.
Just like you.
Yes, just love me. That's why I got into show business, right, Drew?
Yeah, so you say.
People say it all the time. How do you know that chick just could be talking to you because you got a radio show? Well, that's why I got the radio show, you idiot. Of course. Kid Engineer Mike has a shirt that says Loveline on the front and Like Us on the back. He gets a six-pack and he goes walking up and down Culver Boulevard every night with his penis hanging out of his pants. Are you kidding me? Dan?
Yeah.
You're 24.
Yeah, I got a little bit of, it's turning out to be somewhat of a problem. I met this girl across the internet. I know all the downsides and everyone, you know, talks bad about it. Didn't really mean anything to happen. Went over like the course of a year. I flew out to go see her, her being in Toronto, me being from down by L.A., and went real good. You know, I stayed there like 2 weeks. I actually stayed with her, and it got pretty serious, you know, for just, you know, meeting somebody, and I ended up coming back home, and I mean, even just leaving there, going to the first place, I left a lot behind, and I almost lost my job, and I'm not even really sure why I went and did that. I don't know why I'm, like, reaching so far out for, like, a relationship.
Desperate?
Well, not even really desperate.
You know what I really want to do?
You met someone over the internet, and you flew out to Toronto. That's hard up.
We're developing this website.
We are?
I am, anyway.
You are?
At drdrew.com. And one of the things I want to do is create guidelines for how people should meet off chat rooms.
Yeah.
And where to meet, places they meet that are structured, and you can evaluate and really help people not get carried away with these bizarre fantasy relationships that get developed on the net. And it's one thing that people have trouble meeting its way to meet, but beyond that, it's not reality, and people get way off into their own casting their play and projecting a lot of stuff onto the people they're talking to in the world.
Yeah, but don't you think people are sort of vulnerable to it?
Who are doing that?
Who are doing it
absolutely.
because there's a certain degree of desperation.
Yeah,
if you're striking up a
I want to figure out a way, though, to structure those chats and to create, like, I don't think people should chat online for more than, like, a week without meeting. Just meet, find out who the people are at that point.
No, you don't want to structure it. You want to make a buck, right?
No. It'd be no. Well, how do I make a buck off that?
I don't know, Drew. I know your people. Always looking to make a buck. Hey, Dan?
Yeah.
How big were her breasts? Ben wants to know.
Well, actually, yeah, they weren't as big as that Triple D thing going on.
How did she look? Did she send you a picture or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did she look? How much worse than her picture did she look?
I actually looked better.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like kind of like jaw dropping, you know, kind of thing. I mean, you know, everything worked out like even better than I thought. But you know, there's the country barrier thing going on, and I'm pretty much at the point, you know.
The what thing going on?
What'd you call her? No.
You mean Canada versus America country?
California versus Canada. I mean...
Yeah, it's a totally different culture.
It's like all the way East Coast Canada, too. I mean...
Right.
And, you know, she's talking about coming out here and stuff like that, and...
What does she do in Canada?
She works at a Costco.
Really?
Yeah, of all things.
Yeah, she could never do that out here. Yeah, that's tough. That's real regional.
I mean, and I got, like, so many other issues going on.
I sell, like, curling equipment and stuff.
What are your issues?
High-octane beer.
Well, I mean, I just got out of the military about a year ago, and I had come back home and all kinds of falling out with parents, and, like, I've been living in a hotel pretty much for the past month.
Why? What happened?
Well, it's pretty much they wanted to charge, you know, rent, which is not really a problem, you know, for staying there, but it just got ridiculous. It got from pretty much being about $600 a month, and to me that's ridiculous because with the hours I work, you know, as if I was there for one meal.
Okay.
All right. Because you're 24 years old. It's time to move out anyway.
They're trying to push you out, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that was like
they should.
Listen, when you're 24, if you live in a hotel, it's because you want to live in a hotel. It's not because your parents tossed you out of the house. You should be living in an apartment, Dan.
Well, yeah, I mean, I found a place. You know, I'm moving on the 15th and all that, but it's just, I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Okay, well, listen, you're not doing anything over here. Why don't you just move to Canada?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Huh?
Move to Canada. You don't like your folks. You barely have a job. You're living in a Motel 6. Move to Canada.
Yeah, they won't even let you do that though. I've even looked into that. There's all kinds of immigration BS you got to go through, and
really,
yeah, it seems like it's easier
if he wants to work over there. Yeah,
you can't get a work visa.
No, you have to prove that you can do something that a Canadian can't do. You know, in order to actually go over there.
Well, tell them you're sober. I'm sure that'll let you right in.
Yeah.
Rock? You might want to join a rock band.
Yeah, I mean, the only...
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey, what about Loverboy? Come on, man.
What about him?
Oh. Come on, the kid's looking hot tonight?
They're from L.A.
No, they're from Canada, right? All right, come on. The Guess Who? I think BTO maybe.
Yeah, Rush was from Canada.
Rush, come on. That's Alan Thicke. I mean, those people know how to rock.
It doesn't sound like a bad relationship to pursue, frankly, as skeptical as I am about internet relationships. But much more importantly, you need to get your life in order, and that's probably what you're concerned about, having a relationship before you have a presence, a life.
Right.
And you need to work on that.
You can get a student visa, right?
Probably.
I think you can work for 6 months, say you're a student, if you're under 25.
Yeah, there should be ways for honest folks without criminal records to go to Canada for at least enough time to figure out a relationship. Yeah, then you get married and you get to stay, I think. Stephanie, are we the only country stupid enough to have that law? Stephanie?
Yeah.
You're 27.
Yep.
What's going on?
Small dilemma. Just noticed a pattern lately. Last few guys, not every guy, last couple guys I've slept with. I've had, I don't know how to phrase it delicately, penis dilemmas of some flaccid variety or another.
A softening problem.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
get it. I don't get it. I mean,
were the circumstances anxiety-provoking for the men in some way? Something made them nervous?
No, I didn't think so.
Was it the first time? Was it the first time with each guy?
Yeah.
Was it repeatedly after that?
You know, I can only be honest with you. I can only take it maybe twice before I'm embarrassed and I'm a little, disturbed by the whole situation. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't usually confront them on this issue. I'm afraid that saying something would actually make it the situation worse.
What would you say?
I can't even begin to know what to say.
What would you say? Just use your imagination.
I would ask him if everything was okay, if there was something I could do.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
Offer them their money back.
Offer them their money. Whoa. That's so wrong.
But it was like a cartoon where I almost got her to go along with it.
Rabbit season.
You shoot him now.
Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
I don't know. I've talked to some friends about it, and their question is always, is there drugs involved or alcohol involved? And no, I'm not,
Is there anything,
laying up with any kind of drug addict.
Is there anything about the choices of men that
personally, I think there's a variety, of people.
How many guys have you been with?
I'd say the last 3 to. It's happened for 3 or 4 different guys.
Over what period of time?
I don't know, within the last year. A couple years, I guess it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a radio translation for that?
That's been 19 guys in the last 6 weeks.
Okay. That's so hard. Come on now.
All right. Yeah, that's the radio translation. All right, well, listen, Stephanie, here's the deal. Okay, you're meeting these guys. You're not really having relationships with them, right?
Well, I mean, after 2 tries, and I'm stuck in this situation.
Yeah, but what about before that? Are you just scraping them up off the bar floor and dragging them to your one bedroom, or are you having a relationship?
Yeah, throw some shampipple down their throat. No, it's people that I've known and hung out with for a couple months before I jump in the sack with them, yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't do drugs. They're out using at the time, and not on medication.
No. I mean, the fact that I'm a raving beauty could have something to do with it, but, I mean, come on. Even my big fat mouth, I can't be that intimidating. I mean, I don't know what...
How do you look naked?
You're fat.
Oh, Drew, please. Wait a minute. Come on.
6 feet tall, 137 pounds. Thank you very
Really?
much.
And a big mouth. I mean, maybe these guys are just scared.
I'm thinking that's it. But
Their penis is like, listen, ass, listen, balls, I'm out of here. You guys do what you want. I'm leaving.
I'm not someone who's,
I'm going to hide in the took-eye.
I'm not overbearing when it comes to being in bed. I'm not... I think I'm somewhere in the middle there. I'm pretty reasonable. I'm not,
Hey, you're 6 foot. You're big. You like to talk. Maybe you scare a guy. Maybe these guys are a little intimidated.
Well, I'm sick of these wimps. If that's the case.
I'm getting intimidated right now.
Yeah, I'm scared. Listen, I'm going gay. That's it. You guys with me?
Yeah, screw plank, girl.
We'll get started tonight. Hey, Stephanie. All right, hold on. Let's talk about Stephanie behind her back for a second. Oh, she's got like an energy.
Yeah.
And like sort of an aggressive aggression.
Yeah,
it's
not
it's aggressive.
Stripper energy, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to find out what she does for a living. But she has a certain identity. And listen, as immature as it sounds and as pathetic as it is, guys kind of like to sort of feel like they're pulling the train when they're in the sack. I don't mean literally, but what I mean is
the engine.
They want to be the engine. They want to be the driving force.
Conductor.
They want to. And as soon as the woman turns the tables on them and says, "Hey, what do you got?" A lot of guys get a little freaked out.
Well, you had to turn the mic off to get your show back. So
yeah,
I mean, there's a pattern going on.
She does have some energy. Stephanie, what do you do for a living?
I'm a costumer.
Costumer.
Yeah.
All right, and nothing inherently wrong with that.
For the porn industry.
Where do you? What industry do you work in?
Porn industry. That would pretty much be pasties. No, in the film industry.
Okay. All right. And you're all right. You're not too aggressive. You don't scare the guys.
I have my moments, sure, but
anything. I wonder if it's like her choices in guys. Though.
Is your mom a dance instructor?
No.
Okay. Because I used to date a girl who was a costumer in the film industry, and her mother was a dance instructor. Never mind. No, it's not important.
All right.
But she was damn intimidating in bed.
Maybe, Stephanie, why don't you just get to know the guys a little better, make sure they're sober, and from the time the bedroom door shuts, don't say anything.
And have a relationship, for a real intimate relationship, before you have a physical relationship. What a bummer, huh?
No, I mean, right on. I think that the sex is involved in when it comes to being in an intimate relationship.
It is, but you may be bringing it in too soon.
Okay.
Sometimes a man just wants to be held, Stephanie. Do you understand?
I hear you.
At least in terms of the choice in guys that you seem to be gravitating towards, that might be important and a good thing.
Yeah. I think she's domineering or overbearing.
But a lot of guys would like that, see, and she's choosing guys that don't.
Yeah.
Right.
And dressing them up like little girls, I don't think helps.
Right. So giving that oversized lollipop and telling them to cry when she disrobes is not helping at all. We're going to take a little break. Ben Folds 5 is here. We're going to hear another song from them coming up when we come back.
Okay, so come on down off the towers.
This is not your parents' The weekend of July 23rd, Rome, New York, Woodstock 99.
3 days.
Hey, it's the Loveline. Is this a song I think sounds like Jailbreak? Oh, not this part, but play the beginning of this one again. I'll tell you. Hey, Lindsay? Jailbreak, right? Yeah. All right, thank you, Mike. I'm telling you, would you find me a Best of Thin Lizzy?
Well, there's a Dawkins song that sounds like that, too.
Oh, really?
Caramel Apple.
Yeah.
Caramel Apple!
Let's go dust off the turntable.
All right. Everyone's making fun of me. But when Thin Lizzy makes a comeback, and they're poised to any day now, and we'll see who's...
They're dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, not all of them. I think just Lizzy. Didn't the lead singer, singer's dead?
One of them died, I think.
All right. Very sad.
Where did he die from?
I a lab explosion.
But how weird is it?
What do you
He was
think?
shot breaking out of jail.
But how weird is it that we have all these, for young people, these icons become these very sick people that have very short life expectancies because this is I'm sick. I mean, what was that all about? The 70s, was that like a...
And listen, everyone's hip to the Jimi Hendrixes and the Janis Joplins of the world, but there's a lot of other bands.
Book. I'd love to read a book about why, a psychologist profile on rock stars and their life expectancy. I would. It'd be really interesting.
They're short.
I mean, everyone reveres that. Like, that's like Jimmy, man.
That's a goal.
Died at 27. But I'd be interested in knowing, why as a fan.
I mean, why Jimmy died, or
just
why
in general? What's the gravity like? I mean, I think I know a little bit. I'm in the profession, but
so what do you think? What's your percentage?
I think it has to do with well, I mean, there's ego stuff, but there's also just being in a different town every day is a little unbalancing, and the kind of personality that would go into it in the first place, why you want people to adore you in the first place, and I think there's a lot of reasons, but
doesn't seem like it's a to me it seems like a combination between, well, first off, a lot of traveling, and half these guys, especially in the 60s and stuff, were just flying these like puddle jumpers out of Wisconsin in the middle of November and stuff when it was like hailing outside. That seems like a bad idea. But when it just comes to the drug stuff, a lot of people doing a lot of stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and nobody wanting to tell them to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody stepping up and going...
That's depression. That's nothing other than depression.
But it's being a rock star, too. I mean, nobody's saying to Jimi Hendrix, hey, you're effing yourself up. Now come here and sit down. And hey, I'm going to slap this whatever out of your hand.
If it becomes fashionable, then you're screwed at that point. You know what I mean? I mean, they're depressed. They've got like the world on their shoulders. The greatest rock star of all time, and they're depressed. And they're using like a whole bunch of drugs to keep the fact that they think they're a better person than that down. I mean, the guy thought he was the greatest blues guitar player of all time, and I'm sure he lived under that delusion for about 6 months.
But and I agree. It's certainly that may be fueling the drug use. But then you're living in a world where people don't intervene, don't stop you, don't normally they just call the cops or plan an intervention,
maybe
or they do something.
Enough, but I mean, at least these people are in a position where there's someone there's attention drawn to it because more people are going to care about. Hey, Jimmy's going down with drugs, so they're going to say something about it, right? I mean, what's the doctor's?
What do you think, Drew?
I treat a lot. I work with the Musicians Assistance Program. I treat a lot of rock stars, addicts, a lot, and it's a complex issue. People that are sort of gratified by thrill, which is a specific biology, which a genetically inherited biology, where the situations that were hyper-stimulating, it might be uncomfortable to other people, fill a void for people that are drawn to this field. And it just so happens that's the same biology, the same genetic predisposition for addiction. And if they are depressed, if they have characterologic issues, if they're in the right social circumstances where they get exposed to profoundly addictive substances, that biology has an opportunity to activate.
I've got some more of your $80.
All right, that was Fletcher from
last night.
From Pennywise.
He's not depressed. In fact, he was manic. He was manic.
Speaking of rock and roll and fans, Andy.
Hi.
You're 19?
Yes, I am.
You got a question for Ben Folds 5?
Yeah, actually. First, hi to everyone. Listen to the show all the time. It's great.
Thanks.
I am in Illinois, and I was just wondering where the tour is going. Is it going to be close to here?
They're going to be in Chicago.
In Chicago. Okay, I'm in Champaign. Kind of a problem getting to Chicago.
How far is that?
About 3 hours.
You can get on the Ben Folds 5 bus.
They'll be going through, yeah.
Goes through every single town and picks up people who want to,
Oh, really?
It's sponsored by Lutheran Church, and I don't know. That's not true.
They're going to be there they're going to be there the 18th, by the way, at the Riviera Theater. Well, listen, are you a big fan?
Yeah, love it.
Do you have a car?
Yeah.
Okay, get in it and stop complaining, then. What do you want them to swing by your garage and set up? You got to drive a little. That's fine.
We had a 10-hour drive to get to L.A.
Yeah. Look at them. They're here. Hey, Andy?
Yeah?
Why don't you do this? Chicago's a real nice town.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's lots of fun to be had. You have a few weeks advance notice. Why don't you get your girlfriend or your significant partner, gas up the car, get a hotel for that night, go into Chicago, have a nice steak, go see Ben Folds 5 and have some sex and and then kill a hooker and put her under the bed or something. Whatever you do in Chicago, make a night out of it. Make a weekend out of it.
Could be a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
He's not going to do it.
Well, what a fan. All right, any other questions?
Actually, the song for the dumped, best song that I've ever heard. Just wanted you to know that.
There. And they'll do it if you show up in Chicago on the 18th.
Okay, I'll be listening.
All right. As a matter of fact, I saw Ben Folds 5 in Washington, D.C. at the whatever club about 3 years ago for the HF Festival. And all I remember is I was drunk, and Andy Dick was drunk too, and walking around, and Ben Folds 5 was on stage. And I think you're good. I really do. I was drunk, and Andy was telling me to do something. I can't remember what it was, but it may have involved his penis. But I do remember seeing, that is the one time I saw Ben Folds 5. Joe?
Yes.
You're 23.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Well, I have a question for you.
All right.
I masturbate probably regularly, maybe 1 to 2 times a day. I might miss a couple days here and there.
Sure.
But I noticed I don't have sex much, but I had sex recently, 3 days ago.
Right.
And right when I was about ready to let loose, my hand takes off. Right there. It just starts like a habit.
Yeah, can't stop.
Right, just like if I was scratching, behind a dog's ear and he starts to kind of shake his leg.
Right.
I'm like, all right, that's not good,
Yeah, it's involuntary.
Right. And
gives away his technique.
Yeah, you've done it so many times. It's like you've driven your car so many times that when you hop in a rental car, you still go for the windshield wipers where the lights were, whatever. You can't help it.
Right.
Like, it's raining, so you turn the lights on, and you'll do it like 15 times in a row because it's in your muscle memory.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this like a normal thing? Does this happen to you guys, or?
No, it is for the rental car, but not with the whacking off. Now, you can't whack off in a rental car.
No, no.
No, I know you're used to a certain sensation, right?
Right.
And you equate that sensation with orgasm, so when you're with a woman, it's almost a foreign sensation, right?
Right.
Yeah. You need to be with a woman more often to sort of break you of that.
Right.
Decondition you, okay?
Right. What position are you in when you're with a woman?
Standard.
Standard? You on top?
Yeah, I'm on top. And once in a while, she's kind of in my lap, giving me some action down there. But
well, if he's in missionary, aren't his arms kind of occupied by holding him up?
Thank you, Engineer Mike. Did you hear that?
That's exactly
Mike,
right.
Mike jumped out of his seat for that one.
I kind of, brace myself with my left hand. I guess I'm on top. That's a good question, but I kind of like lean over on my elbow, and my arm it still just happens.
Oh,
it's not just been once. It's been 3 times.
Okay.
I had it all night. And
all right.
It wasn't like it just happened once and it was all right.
That's fine. It's a kind of a cool porn maneuver, too.
Really?
Yeah.
You should probably use that to your advantage, like for her enjoyment, in a way.
You mean use the hand movement?
Yeah, like just maybe do to her what she might do to herself, in a way.
All right.
If you get my drift?
Right, kind of do the reach around or...
Yeah, that doesn't...
Exactly, and I really doubt she would hate you for it.
All right, Joe. Hey, listen, I've never said this before in my life, but slow down on the masturbation. Oh, God, what have I become? What have I become, Drew? I hate myself for saying that, I really do.
Do you have a guideline for what's too much?
You almost recommended a breast reduction tonight.
Oh, Drew, please, you're right. What is going on with me? I gotta do some soul searching on the ride home. I usually, I'm once a day, normally. I mean, that's just me. Drew deems that as almost deviant, which
He has a steady girlfriend, mind you.
Yeah, all right, but she's asleep every night I get home. I mean, I get home late, Drew. I don't see her during the week.
You will not mention this to your therapist. That's bizarre.
Why do I got to talk about whacking off to my therapist? It's humiliating.
Difficult thing. You got to press the envelope. How do you get anywhere in your therapy?
I'm not there to get anywhere. I'm there to say I'm going and have a good time. I try to duck the hard questions. As a matter of fact, I have a publicist go in there and screen the questions before I go in. I want to know what I'm going to get. At least one day's notice. He faxes them over to my office, and then I go over them with my writing staff before I actually go in there. And I'd actually set up a teleprompter. It's not really a teleprompter. It's one of those lucite shields, that reflects it up on it, so looks like I'm working the room.
Whatever.
True. Drew, I told you why I don't talk about masturbation in the therapist's office. Do you know why?
No, why?
Because if I talk about masturbating, I'll begin masturbating, and then he's going to charge me more.
No.
No?
No.
Drew, once a day, is that a lot?
Well, that's your therapist.
Why do I got to ask him that?
Because I said so.
Would you tell a female therapist that?
If she was hot. Yeah.
Let's go to break, please.
All right, Drew, seriously, you know what I'm good for? I'm good for 4 times a week. That's a pittance. It's nothing. It's a drop in the hamper. Ben, what are you good for? Seriously, you're on the road a lot. You're a hardworking rock act. I mean, come on. They're 4 times a week, right?
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
By himself. He's my girlfriend.
Listen, he's a rock star. He can have a new woman every night. That's fine. No problem with that at all. Robert, what are you good for?
About 4.
4? 4 to 6, maybe?
When you can amortize that over a couple times a day, and sometimes it becomes 5.
Right.
But then 4, but
But Adam, you push him up every
good.
time.
I'm cool. We're with the band. That's all right. All right, Drew. See, look at you. Odd man out. Hey, you don't whack off, guy.
I'm just you are my teacher. I'm just saying, talk to your therapist.
You are uncool, man. You are Squaresville. Hey, isn't he Squaresville? Yeah. All right, let's make fun of Drew during the break for not touching himself. We'll be back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? All right.
You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla.
From the
Hey, Ben Folds Live is here. Robert Sledge and Ben Folds are both here from the band. Reinhold Messner is the name of the latest CD, and there's another song on that CD we'd like to hear, and this one is called Don't Change Your Plans. That would be Ben Folds 5. Reinhold Messner is the name of that. I play the piano on that particular tune. And we're going to move ahead with these calls. Drew, don't say anything.
Bring your sax in here.
Yeah. Laura?
Yes.
You're 14?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Well, I just graduated from 8th grade, and I've been best friends with these 2 people for 3 years, and one of them just fell asleep.
One of them's what?
Just fell asleep.
Just fell asleep.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the other one, we're no longer best friends anymore because we told her that either she would stop drinking and smoking and give her up her boyfriend because he was really horrible to her. And
Laura, that's great. That is a very mature and healthy position to take. And unfortunately, people get into these things and have to have some losses before they hear the messages that you're trying to deliver. It's a very caring thing to do, and stay available to her, but to not have her part of your life is probably a good thing for you and might get her through to her in such a way that she can make some good choices.
All right, let's see if we can burn through a few calls before we got to go out of here. Here's Crystal. She's been on hold for 84 minutes. Crystal?
23.
Hey, Adam.
What's going on?
Well, this guy named Paul that I grew up with since birth, our parents were in junior high together. We've always kind of liked each other, but I ended up getting pregnant when I was 19, and we remained friends, and I kind of grew feelings for him, but I didn't pursue it because I was pregnant, and I hooked him up with a friend of mine, which I thought was only going to be a one-night stand. I thought he was I don't know.
All right.
It ended up being a relationship. They've been together for 3 years. And about 1.5 years ago, he admitted to me that he had feelings for me, and I did the same to him.
Is he still with her?
Yeah, and he told her everything and said that it was just me that was my feelings. And recently we became friends again, and he's done the same thing.
You stay away from him until he's done with that girlfriend. That's all. You tell him that. Tell him you have the feelings.
I know he has feelings for me, but he stays with her because basically she'll put up with what I won't.
You know what? Don't try to figure out why he stays with her. He stays with her because he stays with her.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. It's no good reasons for it. It's whatever it is.
All right.
And when he's ready, when he's done, you may be available.
All right, and you got like a 3.5-year-old you got to look after, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you can't be experimenting with relationships when you have a kid. Find solid, boring people with hair on their back and settle in for the long haul. Okay. All right, Crystal?
Hi, Ben, Full 5.
Hey.
I think you're great.
Thanks.
All right. What the hell? I love when chicks do that. God, I wish I had one of those girlfriends.
Blame the girls.
Yeah. I know he only cheated on me because she flashed those big, long press-on nails in his face and fed him a bunch of gin and tonics. It's like, what? Not me. I got the girlfriend, walks right past the chick, kicks me right in the nuts, high-fives the chick, and goes back to key my car. We call these chicks all night. It's like they're, these are the ones who end up on Jerry Springer, where like the guy's out there and the two chicks are having a fist fight because he's sleeping with both of them. Where are these women? I gotta find one of these women. I said, Drew, your wife. Forget about it. She'd poison you and light the house on fire like One Eye or whatever her name was from TLC. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Can you imagine?
No.
That'd be great. Oh, God. All right. We're going to take a break. I promise it'll be fast. Now, it's going to feel like the same length as all the other ones, but trust me, it's going to be a little bit faster.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
Out a show. The Verve Pipe is going to be in here tomorrow night, which I'm happy about because I like those guys, and we haven't seen them around here in a while. As a matter of fact, I'm going to eat like $300 worth of sushi with them, Drew, before I come in here. So I'll probably be drunk, too.
Invite me out to anything.
Hey, Drew, I'm down with the pipe.
Yeah,
what can I say?
Cool now, I guess.
Ben Folds 5, Reinhold Messner's the name of the CD. Go out and get it, and I'll tell you, I say this every once in a while, and I mean it this time. Even if you don't like the band, have it in the collection so people think you're cool. You know what I mean? They go, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. Right in between, like, the Queensryche and the Molly Hatchet. You just put that Ben Folds 5, and people are thumbing through there. People come over, they look at your CDs, and they measure you. I mean, they used to look through your medicine cabinet or your underwear drawer. Now they go right for the CD pile, and they want to know how hip you are. And it's good. I swear to God, even if you don't open the thing, just have a couple Ben Folds floating around. Put it in between, like, an old Joe Jackson and a Rory Gallagher or something. And then people...
And have Miles Davis kind of...
Yeah, and then people go, wow, this guy's really eclectic. He's hip. He's smart. I had him all wrong. Okay, we're going to take an extendo break, and we'll be back in about 22 hours. Until next time, John Crow for Dr. Drew saying, mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment.
Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle.
Now, please listen to this station longer.
Saludos, amigos. This is